Greetings, Earthlings. Today we're going to be doing a 2018 Podcastage audio gear gift guide. Now in this video, I'm going to be breaking it down into quite a few different segments. I'll start by offering you 2 or 3 complete audio rig setups, tell you what comes in it, how much it costs, and show you how it sounds. Secondly, I'll walk through a ridiculous amount of audio gear that I'm recommending, broken down into 3 different categories: under 30, under 100, and over 100. And lastly, I'll end with a category of a bunch of miscellaneous stuff that I think most YouTubers and podcasters and creators should have, but it doesn't really fit in the audio category. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Okay, so right now I'm speaking through a maybe $60 or $70 microphone setup. We're starting with the Behringer XM8500, which is a $20 microphone. We got a $1 or $2 foam windscreen on the front. We're running it through a $5 or $7 Amazon Basics XLR cable. We have it put on the Neewer boom arm, which is $10 or $15. And then we are running it into the Behringer UM2, which is a $30 audio interface. And this is what it sounds like. Not too bad. Now I'm speaking through a slightly more expensive setup, which will set you back between $70 and $80. The main focus in this setup is the Samson Q2U, which is both an XLR and a USB microphone. So you could start with a USB microphone and then upgrade down the road, but that will set you back around $50 to $60. We have a $10 generic pop filter on this thing to avoid any kind of plosives. Again, we are using the Neewer boom arm, which is $15, and we are running it directly into the computer, and this is how it sounds. Again, not too bad for the budget price. First up in the under $30 category, we have the Behringer XM8500, which is a $20 XLR dynamic microphone, and I honestly don't think you can get a better beginner dynamic microphone at this price point. Secondly, of course, we do need a microphone stand, and I am going to recommend the Neewer boom arm, which costs about $15. It's cheap, it works, and that's really all that can be said for it. Next is a somewhat specialized item. It is the Onstage QK2B microphone quick release, which costs around $11 a piece. And if you're like me and you change out microphones a lot, you know what a huge pain it is to unscrew the microphone mount and rescrew another one. This allows you to have just one thing screwed onto your microphone stand, and you just quickly release it and put on the next microphone. Next, we have one of the cheapest interfaces on the market. We got the Behringer UM2, and honestly, for $30, this interface is an absolute steal. It works well enough, and I have very few complaints short of it being a plastic build quality. Next up, if you're doing any kind of vocal work and you are close micing yourself, you definitely need a pop filter, and you can pick up a generic pop filter for around $10. Every podcaster, streamer, YouTuber needs a pop filter, and you can get by with almost any of these generic brands. If you do decide to go the route of an XLR microphone, you can start with some very budget XLR cables from Amazon Basics. And of course, I do recommend getting multiple XLR cables because you do never know when one will go bad, so have at least 1 or 2 extras in case one does fail. Next up, if you do a lot of traveling and you need a portable mic stand, the Amoon MS-12 costs around $10, and it is hands down my favorite travel mic stand. In order to get your headphones off the desk or off the floor, it is always nice to have a headphone hanger. I'm recommending the Brainwaves hanger, which costs around $13, and this is just all around a very great hanger, and I have multiple of these around my house. First up in the under $100 category, we got one of my new favorite shock mounts, the Audio-Technica AT8410A, which costs around $60. Now, it doesn't fit all microphones. It fits smaller handheld dynamics or shotgun microphones in the studio. If you want a more versatile shock mount, you can go with the Rycote Universal Mount, which costs around $100. This thing will fit the majority of microphones out there. It provides you amazing shock absorption, and it will be a little bit more secure for your microphone. If you do want to up your audio game, you could go with a set of Mogami XLR cables, which start at around $40 to $50. They are some of the highest quality XLR cables on the market. You won't necessarily notice a huge effect on sound quality, but it will provide you a huge improvement in durability and shielding. If you're in an untreated room, you've probably noticed a bunch of reverb in your recordings. That's easily solved with some acoustic foam, which starts at around $20, but I do recommend getting multiple packs. It will allow you to treat your room because nobody wants to hear a podcast or YouTube audio that's recorded in an echo chamber. Next, we got one of my most recommended microphones, the Samson Q2U, which costs around $60. This has XLR and USB, and in my opinion, just sounds great. If you don't really like the sound of the Samson Q2U, you can go with the AT-R2100 USB or AT-2005 USB, which are both from Audio-Technica. They are both around $80, and they both are also XLR and USB microphones. If you're somebody who films videos with your iPhone, you may be a little bit let down with the audio quality. The Rode Video Mic Me L costs $70. It plugs directly into the Lightning port, and it will drastically improve the audio quality you're recording. Also, if you do want to record an XLR microphone directly to your iOS device, you can pick up the iRig Pre-HD, which is $100. It is an XLR audio interface, and it comes with both a Lightning cable and a USB cable, so you can record to your iPhone as well as your computer. If you're looking for a higher-end budget interface, you can pick up something like the Behringer UMC204HD for $90 to $100, but if you don't need the additional functionality like MIDI in and out, you can get by with the UMC202HD for $80. Next, if you are a live streamer, chances are you've needed to mute your microphone very quickly. You can pick up something like the Rolls Mic Mute MM11 Pro, which is a very quick microphone mute button, which will set you back between $45 and $50. And lastly, in the under $100 category, we have my go-to over-the-ear headphones, the Sony MDR7506s, which will set you back around $80. These things are industry standards. They have plenty of detail up top, so you can hear everything that's being recorded, and just all around they are very, very useful cans. However, starting off the over $100 category, we have some of the most popular headphones on the market, the Audio-Technica M50Xs, which will set you back around $150. These things have sold millions of units, and there is a very good reason why. And the last headphones that I will recommend are the Shure SE215s, which will set you back between $90 and $150. They are IEMs, or in-ear monitors, so if you need IEMs, they are relatively budget, but they're also great for listening to music on your mobile device when you're out and about because they offer tremendous sound isolation. Now we get to one of my favorite microphones out there, the Shure SM7B, which will set you back around $400. This is my go-to podcasting microphone. It is a broadcast standard. It is a little bit darker, but it is one of the easiest microphones to listen to, and I just absolutely love it. If you do want a slightly brighter sound, you could go with the Electro Voice RE20, which will set you back around $450. This, too, is a broadcast standard across podcasts, radio stations, and everywhere, and it is another really great sounding microphone. If your interface doesn't have enough gain to drive your dynamic or ribbon microphone, you can pick up something like the Cloudlifter CL1, which is $150, or the Fethead, which is around $90 if you order directly from the company. This uses the phantom power of your interface to provide around 20 decibels or 25 decibels of a clean gain boost, so pretty much any interface can drive your dynamic mic. If you are live streaming or you don't want to be bothered with processing your audio in post, you can pick up the DBX286S, which is $200. This is one of the most popular channel strips out there. It has a preamp, it has compression, de-essers, noise gates, and basic EQ, and it is just all around an excellent device for the price. Next, if you want to really up your game and get some amazing sounding preamps, the Audient ID4 will set you back around $200. It has a single XLR input, but that XLR input uses the same preamp that Audient uses in its big studio consoles. On top of that, this interface does have one of my favorite DI inputs. Next up, we got my daily driver audio interface, the Universal Audio Aero, which will set you back around $500. The main selling point here is it has onboard DSP processing, and it's a great entry point to the Universal Audio plugin ecosystem, which has some of the best hardware emulation plugins on the market. Now let's get to the miscellaneous stuff, and the first thing here is a good set of earplugs, which will set you back between $10 and $25, and I know it may seem ridiculous, but if you're a podcaster or if you're at all into audio, you 100% need a good set of earplugs to protect your hearing when you go to shows and to give you a really good experience without degrading the audio quality. Next up is a set of field notes, which costs around $10 for a 3-pack, as well as a Fisher Space Pen, which costs around $20 or $25. This is an amazing combo that I always have with me in my pocket because I personally prefer to take physical notes when I come up with podcast ideas or video ideas. This next one may seem ridiculous, but I'm going to recommend a flashlight, which will set you back around $20. I do not go a single day in my studio without turning this on to try to find something that I have dumbly dropped behind my desk. Every studio needs a flashlight 100%. Another essential for a studio is a pocket knife to open up all those boxes from the gear acquisition syndrome you got. This knife costs around $30 and I've been using it for years and I absolutely love it. If you do want to start getting into video, the camera that I personally started with is the Logitech C920, which now only costs around $50. It's one of the cheapest ways to get decent quality or high quality video. It's not the best, but it's pretty darn good given the price. And the last thing that I'm going to recommend may seem a little bit paranoid, but I will recommend a YubiKey, which is $50. And if you are on YouTube and you don't have two-factor authentication turned on, you are absolutely nuts. And the YubiKey is a great physical two-factor authentication token to help secure your account to avoid anybody accessing it without your permission. All right, well, that's going to do it for today. I know that was longer than you were expecting, but I figured let's cram all of this into a single video rather than releasing 10 of them. I thought that would be a little bit more efficient. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments down below, though. Do you think I missed anything on my list, or is there anything that you are really looking forward to this holiday season? If you found this video fun, interesting, or helpful, thumbs up. Hated it, thumbs down. Want more videos? You can subscribe over there or by clicking the bell button beneath the video, and I will see you all next time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Bye.